to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated. Grenada's economy is heading for its 7th year of consistent growth, averaging over 5%. Unemployment was reduced by 20%, while debt to GDP ratio was reduced from 108% to 63.5%. NNP committed to the economic and social development of our people. NNP delivering on the promise.
Only the few will see when you set the bar, but everyone will know when you've raised it.
Welcome to party. We are the greatest.
We have done it again in this, the era of greatness, with the biggest white.
We bring the most vibes.
Watch greatness unfold with Mr. Killer, Wasways, and Lava Man, and more of Grenada's best, featuring headliner Marshall Montano and the Monk Band.
We great, absolutely.
Be at the National Cricket Stadium on Saturday, August 10th. Get your tickets now from GoToFed.com and all Sunshine Promotions box offices. The biggest white. It's where greatness lives.
We are the greatest.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man.
Foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada.
Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest juve in the world, followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
See you again. Coming in. Tell him this is soca. It's nice to know ya. See you again. Coming in.
The strength of the iron, it's in the testing. Bring them up. It's not a loss, it's just a lesson. Be grateful for your blessings. You'll be digging deep to find that in our strength. No, it's not the time to give up. No, nah. I'm telling you, nothing that will never defeat. Where we control your destiny. I'm telling you, take your hand and point it up in the ceiling for me. I feel so irate. Wake up and I'm ready. Must make it ever steady. Setting goals is necessary while they idling. Precious time they wasting like a disease. It starts spreading. Now it shift their eyesight. I say, I don't know why. Some will worry about our next man's stride. Try to match up our next man's life. Fix your life. And as soon as I start walking on, you want to make something must be wrong, your man. I don't come here for that. All you help me. But I'm telling you. I'm telling you nothing that will never defeat me. We control your destiny. I'm telling you. Take your hand and point it up in the ceiling for me. I'm telling you, number one, we don't come to make nothing from me. I'm telling you, the people music, look everybody chanting. I'm telling you, the people business while we come to need blessings. I'm telling you, don't direction them so help me back. station. Keep sending out good signals. Pay attention to your audience. Let your light shine. What's for you will be for you. With the real ones rooting for you.
And good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name's Sheldon Scott.
I'm Devon Romain.
And this is Hard Talk. We're live via 97.5 CitysoundFM,
89.5 CRFM,
92.9 Sister Isle FM,
and 94.9 We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn.
and we're also live online, www.hardtalkgrenada.com, and on Facebook via Hard Talk Grenada Live, and on YouTube with Hard Talk Grenada. Yes, as I said, my name is Sheldon.
I'm Devon.
And we're going to be taking you up until the 12 o'clock hour, yeah? Reigning Groovy Monarch Champion Cultural Ambassador Shondal Amade has 3 in the bag. Will 2019 make it number 4? Huh?
Has anybody done that?
In the Groovy 4 in a row?
Yeah.
Not that I know of, yeah. Short P has done, I think, 3 or 4. I think he's done, but not in a row.
in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, a very interesting year. And then Boise is looking to make his comeback in the Soca Monarch after being dethroned last year by Lil Natty and Thunder. So
They have to defend
yeah.
Soca Monarch and defend their road match crown. But they have won or twice.
A
3
couple times in a row. I have to check
in
a
a
road
row,
match.
yeah.
Yeah. I had to find somewhere. I had to find the listings. Yeah. Well, last night was the judging at the Chero's tent that took place at the St. Paul's Community Center. And last night, I saw bits of footage from some of the performers and them there last night. And tonight, I'm not seeing a tent judging taking place tonight. But tomorrow night, where they heading, Devon? Thursday night?
Thursday night, where are they heading?
Malmont Big Yard. Roots tent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roots tent, yeah.
So they're heading to Malmont Big Yard, that's in St. David tonight, starting at 8 p.m. Price of admission only $10. And it's the Roots Calypso tent. They'll be facing the judges tonight. And those of you in St. David, St. Andrew, St. George, even if you want to come over from Victoria and St. Mark and St. John and so on, Kaiso lovers, the place to be tonight is at the Roots Kaiso tent, Malmont Big Yard. Yeah, head on out there. I think former Monarch Rootsman should be there, Rootsman Kelly. Yeah, that should be a nice one.
The Malmont Big Yard is the playing field. I'm not sure, eh?
I'm not sure if they but to be honest with you, I'm not sure what Malmont Big Yard is, if it's a playing field and shooter. No?
Yeah, if it's a playing
If they're calling that the Big Yard.
Yeah, for just for the carnival season.
Could be.
It's
Could
possible.
be. Somebody you know go call and tell us.
To call and
Yeah.
give us, no?
Roots, see if you're listening, one of you will call and tell us, yeah.
I don't know why.
So they're facing the judges.
That next man's try to match up and next man life. Fix your life. And as soon as I start walking.
And Friday night, it's going to be the Northwest Kaiso Brigade.
Yeah.
They'll be facing the judges down there at the Dragons Bay.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're starting 8 p.m. admission free. So support the bar, support the food and so on. That's the way that they make the little kakada down there. You understand? Yeah, support them that way.
It's a nice place to just relax and enjoy good kaiso.
Yeah, man.
I tell you no, everybody chanting. I tell you no, people business while we continue blessings. I tell you no.
43 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. I know Devon is holding in his hands the fogging schedule.
Yeah, and Ministry of Health.
The mosquitoes listening to it, we gotta want to know where to stay away from. So yeah, go on with it.
They gauge in.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the Ministry of Health want to remind persons in Telescope and its environs that the fogging team will be in your area today from 5 p.m. Okay. So ensure that you prepare, you put away what needs to be put away, you put safety where the persons who are suffering with, have asthmatic attacks and so, Right, you ensure that they're in a safe place and keep your house open. Let the smoke just go through and take care and kill the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are listening; they know where we come in. So you have to be prepared. Element of surprise is key. So telescope, they are coming 5 p.m. today. Okay.
Yeah, so they're heading to Telescope today.
Yep.
And I know Telescope and surrounding areas because
so
Telescope is a pretty big area.
And it's environment.
Yeah, the team should be moving around today already. They should be in the area they're moving around to let you know exactly what's going on. All right, so the St. Andrew Southeast constituency, they're having their block meeting today. That's going to be at Post Royal in front of Nickel Shop starting at 6:30 p.m. So those of you out there in St. Andrew Southeast, you're on the block meeting that'll be taking place there at Post Royal in front of Nickel Shop starting at 6:30 p.m. So St. Mark's, they have the Green Cruise that's coming up on the 23rd of August, God's willing. And they can also, they could get a ticket from various members of the St. Mark's constituency branch and from Mount Helicon. You can get tickets for the St. Mark Green Cruise. Yeah, that's coming up on Friday, the 23rd of August, 2019. All right, nice, beautiful, man. We have all kinds of things coming on. But with the fogging, so any of you up in Telescope that have bees, you need to let the fogging crew know. So you need to call these numbers. Take these numbers, pull your pen, get your paper. How you call them and you don't even have the number? So we'll get the number. We'll get the number, man. 440-2095, 2095, 2095. And 440-3485. So 440-3485. So those of you that you have bees, you have your little apiaries, and you've got your bee farms, you need to contact the Vector Control Division of the Ministry of Health on 440-2095, 440-3485. So you need to contact them now. Let them know. Because on that, they go and fog and kill all the bees.
Yes.
Then you go on to blame the Ministry of Health and say they come and kill all your bees.
And everything like that.
Yeah, and we don't win an international award for bees already as it is.
Quality honey.
Yeah, man. Winning all kind of award for bees and so. Yeah, Devon, boy, before I move on to another issue though, I need to say something about what's going on in the Lagoon Road area, the Lagoon itself. We have the Karani James Boulevard, and we'll talk about Karani in a while too, but the Lagoon area, I don't know if many people realize that some kind of quick construction take place there recently, that you see the marina has been expanded.
Yep.
And there's a reason for that.
That's around by the Foodland side.
Yeah. The marina has been expanded. If you look out in the water, they realize they have some new moorings there.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at the Grenada Yacht Club,
you'll see some work.
Some work has been completed there. Some new moorings have been put there.
Serious work has been done.
And I could confirm for you that all of those moorings, all of those spaces are booked out to the end of the year, into the end of the hurricane season. They're booked out. And the reason for that is that the insurance companies that are insuring the yachts, they have specified to the yachts that they need to come to Grenada. They've said to them Grenada is just outside of the hurricane belt, because officially Grenada is kind of on the border of the hurricane belt, at the bottom of the hurricane belt. So Grenada is safe because it's far south. But it is not too far south to be affected by some of the piracy that's taking place around Trinidadian waters right now. So they're asking these yachts for their own safety to moor in Grenada. They tell them if they go north, so if they go into St. Vincent and they go into St. Lucia and these other countries and they park up there, that they are not going to cover them in the way that they're covering them when they're here. They'll cover them, but your premiums going to be sky high. You have to pay a pile of money. So if you're going through and you realize you're seeing more boats than normal parked up in the lagoon, or you're checking by the Grenada Yacht Club and you realize you're seeing some work just completed, Yeah. Mr. McIntyre, good morning. Yeah. If you're looking there and you realize you're seeing additional boats and so on, you're seeing additional spaces, and every week you look, you find you're seeing more and more boats coming in. And this is not just a simple thing, because what it means as well, those people have to pay to keep those boats here.
Oh, definitely.
And then they have to clean them. And then when the time comes to take the boats out, they have to provision them and they have to fuel them. There was one boat that came here, I think it took about 4 days to fill it. One massive one that came, it took, roughly 4 days to fill it. So you could imagine the amount of fuel that it took and the cost of that fuel that boat was able to take over that cost of that 4 days.
That's anywhere between 40 to 50,000, could be more, gallons.
Yeah, I know it's not dollars you're talking about there because...
Gallons. Yeah,
100,000.
100,000.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money that was spent there.
Yeah.
So you have that taking place. Now, just remember, all of these smaller boats, they're not operating on wind power. Wind power is an alternative.
Yeah.
But they have to be fueled, they have to be provisioned, which means they have to go into Foodland or Real Value or Andals or wherever. And also Brighton and Miners, independence agencies, they go and they stock up their boats before they leave here. Plus, they have to pay people to upkeep the boats, to clean the boats and so on. And that doesn't come cheap. And then any repairs that have to be done to the boat, to the decks and so on, any repairs. So it's an industry that is on the rise here in Grenada. You don't hear much about it, and the people involved in the industry are very quiet about it, but it's an industry that's on the rise here in Grenada right now. So if you're passing Lagoon Road and you realize you're seeing a lot of boats on the inside there, right? And then even on the outside, some of them are just out from Pandy Beach there.
Right on the outside of Pandy Beach.
Look at the numbers of boats there. Count them. Count them.
Anywhere between 50 to 100.
The insurance companies have stated them specifically, go Grenada. They've told them, come to Grenada. You go St. Vincent, you're in the hurricane belt. You're too far north. You're going Trinidad, you're out of the hurricane belt, but you're into the crime belt. Because you can have the piracy that's coming off the South American mainland, and also different things that are happening in Trinidad itself. They've had a period during this week where within 24 hours they had somewhere around 9 murders within a 24-hour period. Well, one technically was somebody that died before and they found the body at that time, so probably about 8. But nonetheless, that's a lot within that space of time. So they're telling the people, instead of bringing your boats down to Trinidad, which was the original place you would bring your boats and you moor them for the entire hurricane season, they're saying, no, bring them to Grenada and leave them in Grenada. Grenada is safe. Grenada is secure. You can provision your boat there. You can fuel your boat there. Your boat is safe there environmentally and otherwise. You don't have to worry about pirates in Grenadian waters coming to shoot up your boat and all this sort of nonsense, guys trying to board your boat and kidnap you and rob you and so on, leaving you adrift in a dinghy. You don't have to worry about that sort of thing in Grenadian waters. So that's one that a lot of people didn't really realize is taking place, huh?
And one of the other things too is the whole question of safe haven, the lagoons and so that are situated in Grenada. It becomes real safe havens in the case of hurricanes and so, right? When they come in to it, they are away from the rough seas and everything like that. So it's a package that we offer here in Grenada, and all in all, we have the hospitality of the Grenadian people, right, to ensure that our visitors, are welcomed and enjoy their stay,
Yeah, it's indeed, man. Believe me, it's an industry now that's bringing a lot of benefits into some people. In fact, I'd be interested in hearing for the budget figures.
What?
Yeah, I believe there's a serious increase. Even if you're going down, like you're going to True Blue and you see the marina down there, you realize well, what I was trying to figure out to the marina there is if the person who bought right to the back decide that they want the vessel, how they getting that out?
I think they have...
Because the pack's so tight down there.
Really
the pack
tight.
really tight down there.
And imagine in the other place down here, it's Prickly Bay.
Yeah,
the
Prickly Bay.
Woburn.
Yeah.
Oh, massive.
Woburn again, yeah. They actually, I think there's an intention to expand there. And remember, that was a project that only started when the new National Party came into office in 2013. That was one of the first projects that got on the ball. So that's another good one again.
And the size of boats that one in particular is able to take is beyond. It's one of the bigger ones within the Caribbean region.
Yeah. And also you see a lot of boats heading to Carriacou as well. Huh?
Yes.
Carriacou is still kind of considered within the safe zone. So Carriacou as well. But it's generally considered that the harbors and the moorings here in Grenada are very, very safe. So you have a safe mooring, friendly people and so on, and people that are capable of doing the jobs. Even in St. David, the Grenada Marine services that are there.
Excellent service they provide.
Yep. Yeah. And also the intention of doing similar, possibly, to the north of the island where you've had the reclamation taking place there.
Inside,
to do a similar project where some of the yachts can moor there, especially if they're going north. That they can stay there for a while, and if they want a provision in this St. Patrick area, they can provision and so on, and then move out. So it's an interesting one there as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Devon, outside of all of this though, I see that the Grenada Olympic Committee, they have released the names of the athletes for the 2019 Pan American Games.
Big news, man.
Yes, so we're looking nice.
Sports.
Yeah, we're looking nice.
Grenada, we are inching closer and closer to much more gold medals. I can tell you that.
So the Grenada Olympic Committee is pleased to announce the athletes set to represent Grenada at the 2019 Pan American Games. That's taking place next week. So from July the 26th to August 11th in Lima, Peru. So that's starting next week, Friday. We know that earlier up in the year, we had some of our athletes qualifying due to their distances and so on, like Josh Boateng and Anderson Peters. So the women's team, you have Haley Hazard. She is doing athletics in the 100 meter and 200 meter. Kanaika Beckles, athletics. She's in the 200 meter, 400 meter. Kimberly Ince, and she'll be representing Grenada in the discipline of swimming. And she'll be doing the 100 meter backstroke, 200 meter individual medley. So we have one swimmer, female swimmer, heading out. Akila James, she will be representing Grenada in tennis in women's singles. So the women's team, Haley Hazard, athletics, Kanaika Beckles, athletics, Kimberly Ince in swimming, Akila James in tennis. So we have, that's the women who will be representing Team Grenada out there. Starting next week, Friday, at the Pan American Games in Lima, Peru. Also, the men's team, we have Anderson Peters, that's expected, in the javelin. We have Braylon Taplin, who, of course, is going to be taking place in the 400 meter, part in the 400 meter. Josh Boateng in the discus throw. Kurt Felix, he will be there along with Lyndon Victor, his brother, in the decathlon. Markham Felix, he will be there in the javelin. And Deleron Felix, there's a lot of Felix, boy. Deleron Felix, he'll be taking part in the 100 meter freestyle, 50 meter freestyle in the swimming discipline. So we have two swimmers, one male, one female, and we have various two javelin, Anderson Peters, Markham Felix. In the 400 meter, we have Kanaika Beckles and Braylon Taplin. In the 100 meter, 200 meter, we have Haley Hazard, Kanaika Beckles in the 200 meter as well. The decathlon, we have the brothers. Yeah. And you know the brothers are world ranked right now as well, huh? Mm-hmm.
They have worked hard over the years, Sheldon, to get where they are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of support, and so they have.
What we'll be doing over Hard Talk, God's willing, is we'll be giving you the schedule as it comes. I will be giving you the preliminary schedule and the proper schedule as to when Grenada's athletes will be in action. So you will have all the information when each of our athletes are in action, and we'll try to give you a link or let you know which station would be bringing it, etc., so that you can listen or view. You know, most people want to view. Gone are the days when you want to listen cricket. These days, man want to see cricket.
Right.
Although what some elder gentlemen and middle-aged gentlemen do still is they turn the volume off the TV and they listen to everything off the radio.
That's the best way, especially if you're a good commentator.
Yeah, they listen to the commentary of the radio and they turn off. You have a Stephen Suwum or somebody giving commentary. You're listening off. the radio,
Exactly.
and they turn off the.
That's just a good way to do it. You know?
Okay, who is going to be comprising the officials? Ralph James, he's going to be the chief of mission. Giselle Sylvester, the Pan American Games media contact. Paul Phillip, he's the field events head coach. Aline Francique, Francique is going to be there.
Right.
He's the track head coach. Josh Priester, he's a track coach. Natalie Sierra, she's the swimming head coach. And Dr. Ernest Farrell, he's the medical physiotherapist. So you have a compact team heading out to represent Grenada there at the 2019 Pan American Games in Lima, Peru.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we wish them all the best, and we know that they will represent Grenada, to the best of their ability.
Yeah, but you know what's the question? After you have just read this, it's a question a lot of people asking. Where's Karani?
Where's Karani?
Yeah, a lot of people are asking that question.
And we can answer that.
Yeah, but Karani right now is building up himself for the IAAF World Championships that's going to be taking place. Let me see, IAAF, right, that's going to be taking place in Qatar. And it will be starting on the 28th of September. All right? So remember, Karani's coming back from illness, right? He has not been running this year so far in any major competitions. He's been doing his training and so on. And we know that earlier this year as well, he had the unfortunate where he lost his mother. But he has been and continues to be in training. And the latest news I saw on him had said that he would be in action sometime soon. And let me see. Mr. Mosquito, move. Right. I think I got him. Yes. Move. Move, Mosquito. Right. Fogging crew. Yeah, they might have to pass and check. Mosquito come on my microphone, man, and watch it, man. Like he has something you want to say too? Yeah, anyhow. Yeah. So that's one aspect of it. But the World Championships are going to be interesting in that we most likely will be having Karani at the World Championships. We should be having Braylon there as well. But when you look at it, it does not seem as though Wade van der Kirk will be making the World Championships to defend his World Championship. It does not seem as though he'll be there. Reason being, he's had another injury.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so he is trying to focus now on the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo and not so much on defending. He's not written it off totally, but it is unlikely that he'll be representing South Africa at the World Championships. Yeah, he's had another injury to his knee, and he's scarred his knee. For those of you that are unaware, Wade van der Kirk, the reigning Olympic and world champion, he damaged his leg. He actually tore the cartilage around his leg in a rugby match a couple of years ago, and that's why we have not been hearing about him until earlier this year when he ran in one or two races in preparation for the World Championships. But he has injured himself again earlier this month, and it seems highly unlikely that he will be participating in the World Championships this year, but is going to be focusing strictly on the Olympic Games. In fact, he was carded to run in a few Diamond League races. You know the Diamond League of races that you have different countries, you win a prize and so on. Then at the end, if you win the majority of races in the 400 meter, then you are crowned the Diamond League champ. As Karani was, you're crowned the Diamond League champ and you are awarded another prize for that. So Wade was supposed to be running in that, but he has cancelled all his performances for the Diamond League.
Have to be serious.
Yeah. So he's cancelled all of that. So I was checking one of the sports website. They say he's determined to try to run in the World Championship, but that is not a definite that he will be able to do that. All right? Yeah. So he had a serious knee injury, and now he's come back and he's had another knee injury again. All right?
How old is he at this point in time now?
Van der Kirk, I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure how old he is right now. I think he's still in his 20s though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in his 26.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 26 years old. He did not compete for the entire of last year because he tore his anterior cruciate ligament, or the ACL. He tore that in 2017. So he tore his ACL, his anterior cruciate ligament in a celebrity rugby match in South Africa in 2017. And so far, he's only run one 400-meter race this year in a time of 47.28 seconds. Not really that impressive.
Forcing it there.
Yeah, not really that impressive. So we're looking forward to the World Championships to see what develops. But at the same time, we have to keep an eye on the Olympic Games in Tokyo next year. Yeah, we have to keep an eye. That's going to be starting on July the 24th. So it's starting on July the 24th. That's kind of into the carnival season next year. Yeah, you're going to be having...
and you know what would be nice, Sheldon, is knowing that Grenada, we has an opportunity to have a number of athletes, right, that could be going to the Olympics in 2020.
Yeah, we have quite a significant number of athletes. Grenada has medal potential. I believe that we have medal potential.
We have the 400 meters.
Yeah. And outside of the 400 meters, you're speaking here, when you look at the rankings and the distances and the improvements of people like Josh Boateng, Markim Felix, and Anderson Peters, and Markim and Anderson recently came back with gold and silver from Mexico, I believe it was. Yeah, they came back from Mexico with gold and silver in one of the tournaments out there. So it is a possibility. And then we haven't mentioned the brothers in the decathlon. Yeah, both Kurt and Lyndon, who have been doing absolutely wonderful. They've been in the top 10 constantly over the past few years, and so they've been finding themselves in the top 10 in different competitions, and so, or at least the top 20. And this is, remember, that's the Iron Man of the whole thing, eh? That is the one that you have to really, really, really have endurance, because you have to go through... You have to run, you have to jump, you have to jump, you have to run, you have to throw, you have to... Man, it's not easy. It's not easy. So we have the Olympics coming up next year, Devon.
Yeah, 2020. And as you're saying, we have athletes in the 400. We have the javelin. We have the shot put and discus. The triathlon. We have... and it's promising for us as a country to see where we were and at this point in time where we are. And that is to tell you, when you invest as a government, when you invest in young people, when you invest in the facilities and their training, their guidance and so, very soon, a couple of years down the road, you will definitely reap, the rewards. And that is what this government has been doing, investing in our young people, especially when it comes to athletics, right? We have seen a huge investment by this government, from the stadium, come right down to the athletes' personal development, and so academic development and everything like that. So no wonder why we have this sort of results right now, and so kudos to the opportunity the government has been given to our young people, all right? And so for to ensure that they excel.
And you see, also, when you check the IAAF rankings right now, you realize Grenada in the javelin, Grenada has 2 athletes in the top 100. In the top 100, we have Anderson Peters, our own Anderson Peters. I believe he's on island now. Yeah, he came in, both himself and Markim. So they're still on island. I don't think they'll come back to go again. So, and Morning Anderson. So he is ranked number 11 in the world right now in the javelin throw. Yeah, he's ranked number 11. I'm not seeing a West Indian in front of him there. And the next West Indian right after him is Kishon Walcott out of Trinidad. And Kishon Walcott is a former gold medalist and silver medalist at the Olympic Games.
2016.
Yeah. So he won a gold medal the Olympic before, and then he came and he won a silver medal at the last Olympic. And then we have Markim Felix. He's at number 52, but he's still within the top 100. Yeah, and his improvements, he's been having some. Markim has been having marked improvements in his throws. So we're looking at him. Interesting to see what their progression on the big stage at the Pan American Games will be. And then to see how they progress through the World Championships in September, October there. Looking to see how they progress through that and then prepare themselves to go into the Olympics. The eyes of the athletics world are on Grenada right now when it comes to some of our athletes. Yeah? Also Josh, and let's see what's Josh ranking right now in relation to the javelin, not the javelin, the discus. And let me see if I can find Josh Boateng. Wow, it has some Jamaicans well, boy. But Josh Boateng, he is ranked at number 61. So he's in the top 100 as well in the discus throw. So let's see how that changes after the Pan American Games. Yeah? So you have quite a few athletes there.
Yeah, which, we have come a long way. According to Flying Turkey, we have come a long way. The development of our young people, the all-round development, I should say. Not just the development, but the all-round. Because we have seen the concentration of academics together with sports and the training of young people to be, prospective leaders from within our country. And that is good. All right? And sports has been, we have been making our mark in sports for the last 5-10 years,
I see, the thing is this, and some people look at it and they say, well, okay, it doesn't just happen. There has to be a plan of how you move forward. But you also have to understand how the system is set up. The government is not the one that sends out the athletes and so.
Nope.
The Grenada Olympic Association, they are the ones that do the selection of the athletes and the officials to go to each of these meets. So it's not the government that says leave out this person or take this person, that sort of thing. The government has no say in that. It's the Grenada Olympic Committee that has all the say. See, they had a nice building down in Granans there, right? No, Granans. They had a nice building down there. Good. So they are the ones that select the individual teams. Now, the Grenada Olympic Committee, they have different bodies that make up the Grenada Olympic Committee. So they would have the Grenada Athletic Association. They are part of the Grenada Olympic Committee. You have the National Tennis Association, the Swimming Association, the Boxing Association.
Volleyball.
Yeah, the volleyball. All of these different associations form the Grenada Olympic Association, which is the overall body of them. And they make the selection of different athletes and so to go out and represent Grenada, as well as the officials who will go with them. In some instances, you may have heard names we call there that you're wondering, I never heard that name before. But that's because they may have their coach that they're using at school right now and they feel comfortable with. And that coach can come to represent and go with them out to the Pan American Games, International Athletic Association, World Championships, and also the Olympic Games. That individual can go out there with them as well.
So we have 3 major events for athletes for the next year that they have to continue to excel, improve on the timing and the distances and so on. I think with the encouragement and the training and the support, they can do wonders.
But additional to that too, we have to continue to remind the business community and Grenadians on a whole to give your full support to the athletes. It cannot just be the Grenada Olympic Association and or the government of Grenada to give support. I'm speaking here financial support and moral support, to give that sort of support to our athletes. Yeah? Whether it's you're checking on Anderson Peters, because what you're going to do, you're going to wait until he goes to Pan American Games and come back with a gold medal, and then go to the World Championship and come back with the gold medal, and then goes to the Olympic Games and come back with the gold medal, before you approach him to say, well, we want you to be the face of our company. No, do it now. Do it now. Find Anderson, find Markham, find Josh. Speak to them now.
Give them that additional reason
Yeah.
to excel. You understand? When they know that they have the business community behind them going out there, that's a huge, reason for them to continue to excel.
You see, sometimes you wonder why the Jamaicans do so well in sports. Let's just check on something here. There's nothing genetically different between Jamaicans and Grenadians. We share the exact same genetics. The slave ship come out where he come out, and when he pass, he drops some in Grenada, he drops some in St. Vincent, he drops some in Trinidad, he go up the road, he drops some in Jamaica. There's nothing genetically different. And even if the ship only make a trip to Grenada, he come out from a village, that was the same village he get the people for Grenada that he get for Jamaica. That's why And up to yesterday, I was telling someone they should never be surprised when you go to another Caribbean island and you see someone that looks exactly as somebody you know from the island you are originally from. That shouldn't surprise you. And the reason it shouldn't surprise you, we are all one people. So whether the slave ship decide, well, water was bad and he couldn't come Grenada, so he landed in St. Vincent. So, and the other one come to Grenada with other people from your village. And one didn't come down to the Southern Caribbean, he went to the Northern Caribbean, so he ended up in Jamaica or even Cuba or one of the other islands up that side. Whatever it is, we all share the same genetics. So some of us may wonder, but why are the Jamaicans much better in the athletics than a lot of people? It's because they take care of their athletes.
They do.
They don't play that.
They do.
They look at you in primary school and they realize from primary school you're doing good. Some businessman, some organization is going to take you up and take care of you.
Because look, for example, over the last couple of weeks, you have this young athlete from Jamaica, 16-year-old, Brianna Williams, I think, who basically, she's 16 and the 200 meters, I think she has a world record in it. I mean, there has been the support.
Exponentially.
Yes, the support that they have been getting, right, is the kind of support that we need for our athletes, for our young people in this country. We need that. It's not be them, the government and the association. It must be everyone, Grenadians on a whole, and especially the business people who can give financially to enhance their ability to perform. No?
Because Jamaicans eat yam, we eat yam.
We eat yam.
Jamaicans eat breadfruit, we eat breadfruit.
Same thing.
Jamaicans eat fish, we eat fish. All the same things they eat, we eat.
Yep.
Except we don't eat as much ackee. But still.
Oh, we still eat ackee.
Yeah, we still eat the ackee also. So it's basically, and we does eat the jerk chicken and thing now. We eating all the jerk stuff, we eating it here too. But the bottom line is this, the Jamaicans, they also have a serious sport developmental program that goes from the primary school level to the secondary school level to the university level and so on. They have a specific program where they guide their athletes through. And you notice in many instances, the Jamaican athletes don't have to do like what happens in the Southern Caribbean. You have to leave and go to North America to try and train so on.
North America comes to them.
Yeah. Because in Jamaica right now, to make the 100-meter team, you have to be phenomenal.
Extra.
You can't say you're running 10 seconds or you're running 9 points somebody.
You have to be...
They ain't bother with you. It's a fellas running 10 seconds flat, fellas running high nines, and they ain't bothering with them. You have to be exceptional for them to even think of considering to put you. That's why a lot of the Jamaican athletes now go in and run for Middle Eastern countries and other countries.
Yeah. It's very lucrative business.
Yeah.
Very lucrative. And you see, what the Jamaicans have been doing over the last, I think, 20 years or even more, is to identify the athletes from a very, very tender young age. You understand? Coming up, they identify from since primary and groom them, give them the ability to excel as they move on. You know?
But, Devon, I think we have the same system here to an extent, but what we need to do is refine it, because we have the primary school sports, and you could identify some of the young ones in the primary school sports, and so you see a little potential in and so. And then we have the intercall games, and now you have the national secondary school games as well, that you could identify athletes at that level again. And then we have the national championships, but the problem is that by the time we get to the national championships, a lot of the athletes have left the system.
Yeah.
So you have a guy or a young lady running excellent times in the primary school and so, the primary school sports and the school games and then the national primary school sports, the zonal sports, everything. Excellent times. They go to secondary school, we keep hearing their name. In the same way that we used to hear Kirani James and Rondell Bartholomew and Sinke and all of these guys, Anderson and so on. You keep hearing them, and all of a sudden they just disappear from the scene. And you realize it's because between the secondary school and university there, and some of them don't make it to university,
No.
Some of them sometimes they spend a year, 2 years here.
National college.
Well, not even in national college. Some of them spend a year, 2 years here without any proper guidance. So they don't know, okay, I need to write the SAT or the other exam similar to the SAT, so that if I want to go to a university in the US and I've already written my SAT, it's easier for me. It's not easier, but it has to be done. You need to write the SAT so that when it comes up and you're an athlete or you have any intention of studying in the United States, you need to write the SATs when it comes up. It's an important exam for entry into the United States university system. And many of them, they don't even know they have to do that. So they find themselves having to spend an extra year here. In the instance of some of the young ladies, things happen. And sometimes they end up in a situation where they can't travel again because they have responsibilities. They can't travel. Some of the guys, they come, they get injured. One of the things I remember Karani saying is that he loves basketball. But because he's focused on his career, he wouldn't go and play basketball. And the reason he wouldn't play basketball is he doesn't want to go and damage his legs. That's important to him. He can't go and take an injury playing basketball when you know it's your legs that you need to earn your living and make your country proud. So he's very careful when it comes to that. But a lot of the other athletes, they don't take that approach. So they're playing basketball, they're playing cricket, they're playing football, they're playing end up with an injury, damage their career.
And that one injury could put them out of commission with all the sports that they're participating
Yeah.
in.
So they have to be extremely careful with that. I think that a lot of guidance needs to be given, especially from the club level. And that's one of the things that I'm hoping I see developed a lot more among the clubs, because you have several clubs. You have like Trackblazers, you have Ace, you have, there's one for the South Zone, Southern Stars. Southern Stars is the name? Yeah, you have quite a few. But I'm thinking that within there, they need to ensure that these athletes continue to train and participate after they've left the secondary school system.
Keep them in shape.
Yeah.
You know. And as you say, the academic ability is very important too to continue, right? Because if you can be the best athlete, but if you don't have that level, right, to pursue your academic future, then that's an hindrance. So you are a young athlete, you have the ability. It's a two-pronged approach. Continue on that line, right? Be the best you can be, and concentrate on ensuring that your academic ability, right, has lifted. You must be able to perform when it comes to your studies and everything. It's very important. It's your future we're talking about, right? Put them two together, and no one can stop you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah, so as it is right now, that's what needs to be looked at, the development. And government can provide, and let's understand the different responsibilities here. Government can provide the facilities.
Basically a platform.
Yeah, government can provide the facilities. Grenada is lucky, and many of you may not know that Grenada is one of the few countries that has so many sporting facilities available. So many cricket grounds, football grounds, etc. Dominica has one or two.
St. Vincent.
One or two.
Yeah.
But Grenada, we could have a cricket match taking place right now at the Queen's Park ground, and then we could have another match taking place at La Sagesse, and we can have one taking place at Progress Park.
And fun.
Yeah, we could still have one taking place there, and even Plains.
Yeah.
You understand? We could have, and in Carriacou, we could have one taking place in Hillsborough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we can have various cricket matches taking place.
We have Tanti, not Roy St. John.
Mm-hmm. And then they were developing that little small playing field in Petit Martinique as well, right by the jetty there. They were developing that little facility there as well.
So we have the facilities.
Yeah, and the facilities have been improved because even in St. David, when you look at some of the work that the Honorable Oliver Joseph has done, on a lot of the facilities in the St. David area, they put bathroom and toilet and so on.
Malmong,
and
for example.
Yeah, and now we inch closer to the lighting of various facilities, including La Sagesse. I know Coach Williams will love to hear that. But right now she want to hear it, She says she only want to see it.
Yeah, to see it.
Yeah, Coach Williams say, I ain't taking no promise again. I want to see it. Yeah? So the Trackblazers, they want to see the lights up there. But again, you could light La Sagesse next week. But you want to make sure that when you light it to the same standard as the National Stadium. I think we have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Sheldon.
Morning.
Good morning, Devon.
Good morning to you, my friend.
Very interesting this morning, man. Very, very interesting. So happy to hear you guys and what you guys are highlighting there. I'd like to add a little two pence to that too.
Go right ahead.
You know, it's. I mean, Sheldon and Devon, and good morning to Grenada, the rest of the listening world and the whole. You know, as you mentioned about Jamaica, you're so right. Jamaica government back in, I think under PJ, they started that athletic program and they invested heavily. Now they're reaping the benefit tremendously. And fast forward to present, we realize that Grenada under the new national party, this government is investing heavily in the youths. And already you can see that it's starting to pay dividend. If you look at, if you go across the Trinidad too, when Trinidad make it to the World Cup, it's because the government at the time started a program with the youths.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows, Sheldon, because I myself was heavily involved in football at the time, and I know I've been to a couple of seminars and things like that. That was back in 1999, and you know, the coaches and from FIFA come right down, they will tell you that once you pay serious attention to your youths and give them what it takes for them to prosper, they will. So, you know, when I go back and hear people making statements about stadium was too big and these type of things, you know, I wonder, are they just don't care? Or is it that they're really stupid enough in this kind of time to make those type of statements? Is it that they don't care about the athlete? Or they don't know that the wave, the future is to invest in your youths? You know, and then I come and see even this year, you're talking about you're not doing the name for
Intercall?
we normally have every year.
Intercall.
Intercall, yeah.
Intercall.
Mm-hmm.
And it bleeds my heart. It bleeds my heart because it simply tells me, again, is one way or the other. It's either you don't care about the youths or you simply do not understand the time in which we are dealing with now. You know, way back in 1999, I've been to a seminar in St. Lucia. I was for football. But as it goes with it doesn't matter which sport, it's basically the same thing. And the spotlight at that time began to shine on the Caribbean because they realized that there was talent in the Caribbean. And the coaches and them will tell you that what they're seeing out of the Caribbean is very interesting and have them wanting to interact and have them wanting to draw from that pool of talent. This thing, you see, too many times sometimes we take things for granted. You got to understand, it's like a bulb. It shines for a couple of times and then it goes dim. And then you got to get another bulb to shine. Meaning that, okay, the Caribbean now is sharing the spotlight. You don't know how long they are going to be sharing the spotlight. So you got to capitalize on it while you have it. So when I hear people talking about, oh, we're not doing Interpol and this and that, simply because of greed, I mean, it bleeds my heart. But I'm so happy to hear that you guys, you know, is letting people know of what Grenada is reaping right now because of the present government and the finance, the interest, the backing that they are putting into our youths. You looked at it, we had what, five Calypsonians in Trinidad. We came out with what, 3 or how much? Mm-hmm. And we know that the government helped.
Oh boy. Yeah. I am not sure what happened, but caller, you can call back.
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah. I think probably the signal, because I realized it started to drop, and I still have you up. Just in case you're there. It seems as though we lost him. Yeah, but you can call back, caller. That's no problem. 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101.
Yes, indeed. And Hannah is saying there are lots of clubs here, but athletes must be disciplined enough to continue their training and their goals. Yeah, you can't be an athlete and in the middle of the athletic season, you say it's carnival, so you want to go and drink 2 Guinness and jump up and down with oil on you. You cannot do that. Yeah, the time will come when you're able to do that. You might have a year that you're sitting it out and that kind of thing, or later down in life, or you can play spectator. You have to be disciplined enough to know that, look, and for those that here right now, you have to be disciplined, you can't go be drinking no sort of beer and want to take a shot of rum and all this sort of nonsense. And you have to go and represent later down. You have to be disciplined enough to know that you can't do that. Yeah?
You know, Sheldon, one of...
Hold the thought.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning and welcome.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, morning caller, you're live.
Hello?
Morning caller, you're live.
Morning. Morning, you there, Sheldon?
Yes, go right ahead, please.
Sheldon?
Go.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, boy. Seems as though the caller can. When you're calling, please remember to listen on the phone line and not on the radio, because you're hearing the radio in the background, which means you're listening to the radio. Yeah, but Devon, you were making a point.
Yeah, one of the sport over the years, especially, during the 70s, 80s, and up till recently, that suffered, right, because of the how they used to have the competition is football, right? And so, because, for example, the discipline of some of our footballers and so just wasn't there. When times for Carnival, Christmas, you see the competition will just be halt for a whole 3-4 weeks.
Man, go in and eat anything, drink anything.
Exactly.
And
then 1 week after the festive time, you see athletes come right back again, and then the standard continues to drop and drop and drop until, something had to be done.
Good morning, Sheldon.
Good morning.
Good morning, Devon. How are everything?
Not too bad, my friend.
And Brother Sheldon, I want to, you said something, you also said something just now, and it's very important for anyone to be successful in any field. You must have a positive attitude, right? Because they're just saying your attitude will determine your altitude, how high you go, right? And to be successful, you must have a positive attitude. You must respect yourself. You must have discipline. Okay, this is important. If you might be very educated and you lack the discipline, you lack the respect, that hinder you from being successful in any field. So I want to say to the young people, to everyone, if you want to be successful in life, you must have a positive attitude, and you must have the positive attitude to climb high. Because if you have a negative attitude, it hinders you, and you will fail. So I want to encourage the Grenada athletes as they go to the Pan American game and athletes in Grenada to stay positive, stay focused. And once you stay focused, you will achieve nothing that you cannot achieve in life. So I want to say, Brother Sheldon and Devon, you all have a wonderful day. God bless you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, and Devon, you're getting on an important point there when you start mentioning football, because it's not just athletics alone, sports in general, but football. Yeah. I'd like to applaud the Grenada Football Association for a lot of the developments they've been doing so far. We know that they have developed the fun playing field. They are now putting in bleachers. Yeah. So I find fun game like a national stadium up there.
I'm wondering what is going on.
They have the best lights after the Grenada National Stadium. Yes, so they have the best lights on island after the Grenada National Stadium is the fun playing field. And now another project for a GFA Technical Center has just been approved this week.
Exactly.
And that might be a couple million. Yeah. They also have their headquarters. So you have a lot of associations in Grenada, don't even have a proper headquarters. But the Grenada Football Association have their headquarters in Queen's Park.
What, Sheldon, for between the last 5-10 years, well, let's say between 5-6 years, the Grenada Football Association has excelled in terms of its development, not just for the organization, but for footballers on a whole. You know, they have encouraged so many young people to get involved in football because of their level of organization, right? And so on, what they are offering, the training, the technical ability. Look, I mean, we have never had a technical staff, much less somebody responsible for technically,
in
technical
football,
support in football.
they've had technical officers over the past few years, but it doesn't continue. Sometimes they're there for a few months, a year or so, and then
no, you have a full-time paid technical officer, and so which has bring, much needed energy into the whole.
One of the things we have to understand is that there is nothing, and again, I keep using this point, there's nothing genetically different between a Grenadian and a Trinidadian. Because the majority of Trinidadians, anyway, we know where they come from. It's right here. Yeah. And the same thing with a Jamaican.
They will might be burying Grenada and they know.
Yeah, but it's the same genetics. Yeah. It's just the approach that was taken. Yeah. You had Jack Warner in Trinidad at the time, and they took the approach that, look, we are going to the World Cup. We are going to get Trinidad to the World Cup. We don't care if we come last in the World Cup, but we're going to the World Cup.
And they got it.
Yeah, they got to the World Cup. But then they also had the support of the business community. Yes, the government gives support. They had one set of little stadia built all over and those kind of things. But in addition to that, the actual support of the business community to help out, because not a cheap thing to go and send them there. The government had to pay the part. The Football Association had to play the part, although I think it ended up in court and all kind of thing for some of them to get their money at the end of the day. But each one had to play their part to get Team Trinidad to the World Cup. Same thing with Jamaica. Jamaica decided we want to be on a stage where literally billions of people will be paying attention. There's no country on the face of the earth that football isn't played. That's a universal sport. You could count many countries that don't play cricket. South Americans don't play cricket, except for Guyana, and probably Suriname. You might find one or two people playing there. Venezuela don't have a cricket team and all those kind of things.
They don't.
Yeah, they play baseball in Venezuela, innit?
Yeah, baseball. Most of these countries get involved in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
All right, let's see someone's on the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
morning.
To you, my friend.
And a pleasant morning to your listening audience. Now, as I listen to you all, I'm saying here, positive news about Grenada does make a few people sick. Now, do you know, over the last few years, we have never had so many Grenadian athletes competing on the international circuit as we do now. That speaks for itself. Now, let me get into the beef of what I really want to talk about now. Now, Mr. Scott, listen, and Mr. Romain, listen to this. Insurance companies are advising their customers in the yachting sector to dock in Grenada. Now, other countries are talking extremely good about Grenada. The World Bank, the CDB, the ECCB, the European Union, Standard & Poor's, they all are speaking very well about Grenada and the progress we have made. Still for all, the supporters of the party with only tails and no head can't see it. Now, this last part here, hear me now. Now we hear a lot about the needy and greedy. So the question I'm asking this morning is, when Mr. Kem Jones, Mr. Godfrey Augustine, the Roberts brothers, Mr. Greenwich, and the many others, when there were supporters of the NNP, which category did they fall into? The needy or the greedy? Curious minds want to know. But I'll end by saying that. Now, if you don't have anything to give, if you don't have anything to offer, the needy and the greedy don't want nothing to do with you. The needy need help, and the greedy is looking for economic opportunities so that they can invest and make more money. Gentlemen, I trust you all will have a pleasant day.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed.
Always
The
thought
needy
provoking.
and the greedy.
And the greedy.
But yeah, Devon, I think that Grenada, not I think, but I know that Grenada can have a football team that can go to the Olympics and do well, and go to the World Cup and do well. I am sure that Grenada can have a football team that can go to both events. The Olympics, yes, the football in the Olympics, football at the Olympics, and also to go to the World Cup. But those footballers may be in primary school and in belly right now. And the development that's taking place now is laying the groundwork for that.
Exactly.
So when you see they have the grassroots program, where you have the young ones out at different playing fields around the island, and you're teaching them the basics, the mechanics of football. You're teaching them the different aspects of technical play and so of football at that age. Yeah? And then you also have the development of various facilities around the island so that these children, so when you're going up to St. Andrew and you see them in Progress Park with Andal and them, or you're passing through Grand Dance on a Saturday morning and you see a bunch of them on Monrouge playing field, or your Queen's Park or Tantine with a grassroots program with these children, those are the ones that are going to take Grenada to the World Cup, you know. Don't watch so much at those who are there now. We're not playing down to those that are there now. But we're saying that it takes a certain number of years and a certain amount of development and backing to get you to that level. Yeah?
And that is so good. And one of the advantages that the young people of Grenada has, because the government over the years has concentrated on the development of the different playing fields and so around our island, you can have a number of sporting activities, right, being developed and played right through the year.
Mm-hmm.
You can play cricket right through the year if you want to at this point in time. Football.
St. Andrew's cricket ain't doing that. Huh?
Very soon they will do that, because they have a number of playing fields that they can use both for soccer, football, and for cricket.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and that is good.
So you have this aspect of it. I think one of the goals should be that within 20 years that we get a Grenada football team to the World Cup.
Prepared for World Cup.
And that must not just be a goal of the Grenada Football Association. No. That must be a goal holistically of the entire island. So outside of the government, the Grenada Football Association and everyone, it must be a holistic goal that we get Team Grenada to go to the World Cup. I think we have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, bro.
Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Let me tell you something. I would not be surprised, to hear the pile of jokers belittle and insult our athletes or even cry down the efforts of our government. I'll tell you why. They are the sports minister. Look at the design he went in South Africa and came back and having go off right now. We don't do those things to them. The same sports minister, Andal is from St. Andrews, right? Yeah. The same sports minister, or shadow sports minister as they like to call him, is from St. Andrews. He never even had, the vision to develop the main sporting facility in St. Andrews. No, St. Andrews has two sporting facilities. One always flooded and all kind of thing. He loved sports so much, and he couldn't even see the need to help develop Victoria Park. It was the NMP government, when they wanted to hold intercall in St. Andrew, that went and upgraded the
Progress Park.
Mm-hmm. So they have to be ashamed, and history would tell you that. As a matter of fact, the bleachers and so on that are in Progress Park was because of the initiative of the new National Party government, again, when they wanted to host intercall up there, and that is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, that's the same man who said that they're not going to get themselves involved in the stadium. But remember, Michael Bascom said when he first came up with the idea to do the invitational, and he run it by him, what he said? He said, "Nah, boy, not me. Go and talk to Dr. Mitchell." You know why? Because Dr. Mitchell is a sportsman. Sports is written in his DNA. He believes that our young people has a good opportunity through sports. Look at where Kirani came from. Let's take Kirani for example. in Guave, on the lands, on the bay, right? He rise, because why? Sports has the ability to do that, and that is why this government is serious about not just sports, but sports and culture. Look at what happened. Now, do you know, I saw something from Randall the other day. Well, he like to hop on everything as some kind of grasshopper. Strange enough, he playing grasshopper. Grasshopper color is green, but they say he's a yellow guy. But let's leave that over to that. He was talking about the criteria used. Listen to him. To honor our cultural icons as young ambassadors. Those guys and them only talking on both sides of the mouth. In one breath, he's so much culture, but when you try and give those guys an opportunity, to showcase and promote Grenada outside, as the previous caller said, promote Grenada, but they have issues with everything. And why? Because they did not get the opportunity to do it. So it's not because they're genuine, but it's jealousy. And that is what is going to keep pulling those guys down, because they are not genuine. They are jealous. They're mixing up J and G, and that is why they are in that category.
They're mixing up the song of the...
Thank you so very much, caller.
Oh my God!
Wait, he gone already?
Yeah, he got already. Sheldon, I want to say well, congratulations and so to those young athletes from the different secondary schools who have been selected and in training right now for the secondary school games in Dominica later on this year. All right, you have a number of athletes, and so from basketballers to athletics, football, netball, and so that will be going out later on this month, right, out there in Dominica to represent Grenada. I think to defend the champions. They're the defending champions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's why we say there are, one thing we have is a lot of talent.
But huge.
You could have the best artists on the planet. If they do have a paintbrush, and they do have paints, and they do have a canvas, then they just remain the best artists in name only. And if even after they have the paintbrush, and they have the paints, and they paint and everything, you just take it and you lock it in a cupboard, then they're still just the best artists in name.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of talented people, and what we have to do is open out the avenues for these talented people to be able to get to put forward their talents and so on.
And government has been doing that in sports.
So that's why I'm saying that I think it should be a goal of the Grenada Football Association, but as well as a goal of us as Grenadians, to see a Grenada team at the World Cup in the next 20 years. Pinpoint a World Cup and say we intend to make it to the World Cup by then. And this is what we're going to do to get us to that point. Yeah?
I've been looking at, for example, the grassroots program that is run through GFA and other organizations. And when you look at the talent, right, I am sure that we, based with the technical assistance and support from business, we can identify a crop of 30 young 6-year-old, 7-year-old at this point in time and groom them right through, give them what it takes and get them there.
Yeah, man, we
can
do it. Oh, missed that call. 440-7377
and 347-329-3101.
And what we say here spreads over to cricket as well, where you have the Junior Murray Cricket Academy and so on, and you have people like Neelan Pascal, and you have Andre Fletcher and so on, who have been working along with young people as well. Devon Smith, all of these people have been working along with young people to get more and more into the thing is that we're developing the cricket here, but we do have the Grenada cricket team as an international cricket team. We're part of the Windward Islands, we're part of the West Indies and that sort of thing. And the West Indies seem to have their own issues that they are addressing. They've started the process, let's give the Jackie Jacket, they've started the process of addressing some of the problems that the team or the organization as in West Indies cricket has been having. They started addressing some of those, but it's going to take a little time before we reach to where we want to be.
Oh, definitely.
Call online.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, morning to you all both. I heard the all discussion on the football,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to give my input. I think that they are training a lot of youth here around the island, like in Progress Park and in unusual, as Sheldon mentioned. But what I think we need, I think we need, if we have a group of players playing for Grenada, I think we should have them camping or spending time somewhere. And they should be only playing football. And if they could also be paid a stipend for doing that, you know, instead of you have them going around and do construction in the hot sun, working other places, and then having to come and trade. So I think the time is now for we to get a group of people, and if you have them playing for Grenada national team, you have them only playing football, and maybe every month then you give them a salary, maybe $1,000, $2,000, and you have them in camp like hotels, and they only play football. You understand? Yeah, because I think the youth, they're learning the basic skill, but they need more at the end. Because when you watch the World Cup, the teams in the more developed world, they only play they sleep and play football. That's all they do. So I don't know if something they should be looking at into the future for the young players of national level. You have, if it's 15 men on the team and you pay them some stipend or salary, I think that will help to make it to World Cup. That's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you very much.
My friend.
Yeah.
I think the caller is 1,000% right. You must develop that professional league. Because when you go to the UK, the guys, the big names that you hear and that kind of thing, those guys, they have to go and, in common language, joke blocks and mix cement, mortar, and carry bags of cement on the back and mix concrete and so on. These guys don't have to go and do that, and then for a weekend or so they find themselves in a camp because they go in and represent a team, or they go in and represent a zone or a parish, or they go in and represent Grenada. These guys, they wake in the morning, they're on a specific diet. They have a specific diet that they are on. They have a certain amount of training in the morning. They have a certain amount of training in the evening. And they know what and what they are not allowed to do during the football time. They know what they are allowed to do during the night time. So when they go out, this is their job. And they are paid to do that job. But you see, we don't have a proper professional league, as in a paid league here in Grenada.
No, we don't.
Some of our guys leave and they go to other countries in professional leagues. I remember there's a situation with one who left and he had to come back because of some racist thing or the other. I think it was the Middle East somewhere he went.
Lebanon.
Yeah, and he had to come back. There are one or two that end up in Trinidad playing with different professional teams and so on.
South America.
Yeah, one or two that end up out there. But I think outside of that, outside of looking at getting our footballers, and even more cricketers, instead of having them leave Grenada and go out to some of these other places, if a guy who is really good at football could know that he gets up in the morning and the first thing that he does is that he has a specific breakfast, he does a specific training regime. That's when he gets up in the morning. And then he can go about whatever other business he has to do for the day. Not necessarily that he's on camp, he could be at home, but he knows this is his job. Yeah. So he could do whatever else he has to do during the day, but he knows that by 1, 2 o'clock you're back in the gym, or you're to a training session here, or you have a session on the beach at that hour, or you have a session on the playing field for how many hours at that hour, and so on. Then you may have a class that you have to go to on the technical aspects of football and looking at old games and seeing different plays and that sort of thing. But that if he understands that's his job and he's paid to do that, he'll perform to that level.
Definitely.
I always believe if you pay a person for a $40 job, you'll get a $40 job. Yeah. If you pay them for a $400 job, you'll get a $400 job. If you pay them for a $4 million, you won't get a $4 million job. Because they want to lose that $4 million.
At all. I remember, Sheldon, in the late 80s, 78, 79, even the early 80s, Grenada had an excellent football program. It was run by a gentleman, I think a South American by the name of August Uta.
I heard that name before.
Yeah, he was a short, bulky guy.
I wouldn't know him, but I heard the name.
You wouldn't know him. But GFA was running an excellent program where you had, number of players from the secondary schools and so being representing Grenada on high levels out there. And so he spent a couple of years in Grenada and he brought the level of football in our country to a high. But then when he left again, as everything else in our country, at certain times it just rolled back. We must never let these things to happen again. And that is why this government is taking...
We could go and find one of the best coach in the world and bring him to Grenada to coach. That doesn't mean your football team going to reach anywhere. The infrastructure is one aspect of it. Yes, we have some infrastructure and we're improving others and so on. But the other aspects, that what the caller raised a while ago, I saw that with boxers. Having to represent Grenada in a boxing tournament, but having to go and work the morning mixing concrete. Yeah? And then come and represent Grenada in boxing. You're tired. Your body is tired. You're weak. You're tired. Yeah, so athletes that should be performing at a specific level, they need to be treated in a specific way. And that carries over from football to cricket to athletics and swimming and so on and boxing and all of that. It carries on across the board. And that's why I continually say I believe the business community needs to get involved. But there's another aspect of it. In my mind, and I'm saying this in Sheldon's mind, in my mind, I believe that some of the playing fields should belong to some of the clubs.
Yeah, put on the running the administrator.
For instance, in my mind, Progress Park should be vested in Paradise Sports Club. Just like how you have Wembley Stadium and you have whatever. I don't follow English football much. So, but you have the different teams have their stadium and so on. I believe some of the playing fields around the islands should be vested in the clubs, and the clubs can use. So when somebody wants to have a show there, the money goes to the club to help the club be able to develop their technical center and develop the different things and so on. That is what should be taking place in my mind. I'm saying this is in my mind. I don't go and say anybody else. Sheldon mind. I believe this is what should be taking place. That we have to develop it to that point that a club can control a particular playing field and the developments that take place there and so on. So whether they want to fence it wrong and they want to build it up and they want to make it a covered facility or whatever, and whenever something is taking place there, the monies to utilize that goes to the club to help the club with development and to pay their players and so on and the technical staff and to buy equipment and to develop the game itself. But they must also have a responsibility to develop and maintain the facility. Yeah? That's just in my view. Yeah, so whether it's Track Blazers in charge of the La Sagesse playing field and Paradise United in charge of the Progress Park, and every time it has to be used, the money goes to the club, and it is properly, I think that...
And what has to happen too is that there must be, for example, in different parishes, St. Andrews, there must be a differentiation in terms of, for example, if you put in Progress Park into the hands of Paradise, that's a football club.
Yeah.
Right.
But it should be opened out.
Exactly. Yeah. So what would the Cricket Association?
Next thing they say they can't use it.
You understand? So a lot of things has to be ironed out. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello. Oh, lost that caller. Yeah, I think that would be a proper way for that to happen.
Yeah.
That you must vest, but it has to be open. Yeah. If you're vesting it in them, you have to vest it with certain rules.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that other sports can use it, because you don't want Progress Park to just become just a football ground.
And this is a wonderful cricket ground.
Yeah.
One of the best.
And then when you're having athletics in St. Andrew, you can't use it.
You can't use it.
You want to make sure that when you vest it, it is vested in a specific way. But that's just my idea on what should happen with some of those things.
And St. Andrews too, I mean, there are so many playing fields and very good playing fields that you cannot accommodate all the sports within the St. Andrews, because you have pearls, you have, a number of them that are available and are prepared. You know?
Deepo is saying he posted some picture of Utas recently, and Chris is saying that he trained under him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a number, I know, because I was supposed to go in GBSS at that time, and a number of GBSS college students and so got the opportunity to train with August Uta, Thomas, brother, Dr. Thomas, younger brothers, and so. They had about 2 or 3 of them there, you know. they had the opportunity. So once you have a good technical program, right, with support from all, I mean, the different sporting facilities within our country will have no choice but to continue to develop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and government is playing their role in laying the foundations, the playing fields, the support, and so as much as they can. So we need others now to continue to support all our sporting activities within our country.
Folks, as we wrap up, just remember to continue to support your local athletes. Yeah, remember to support your local athletes. So we have Team Grenada. They're heading out next week. They are heading out to the Pan American Games in Lima, Peru. So they'll be heading out next week, Friday. So you have Hazel Azad, Kanaika Beckles, Kimberly Ince, Akila James. Hope I'm pronouncing your name proper, Akila. Anderson Peters, Braylon Taplin, Josh Boateng, Kurt Felix, Lyndon Victor, Markham Felix, and Delron Felix. And together with them, you have the officials Ralph James, Jazel Sylvester, Paul Phillip, Coach Philip Mann, Aline Francique, Josh Priester, Natalie Sierra, and Ernest Farrell. Dr. Ernest Farrell is the medical physiotherapist who will be going along with the team. So they'll be heading out next week to the Pan American Games. But remember, we need to look at how we're going to develop. We don't want to be sending a team and say you're just sending a team. This team is a serious team. This is a heavy team. You're seeing several people that could come back with a medal in this team. It's a heavy team.
Not just a medal, gold.
Gold medals in this team that is being sent there. I know Markham and Anderson go work it out to that one. But
it's one of the best teams I think Grenada have ever sent to represent.
So we're not going to be sending token teams to activities again to say we send that team. I don't think the Grenada Olympic Association go in and organize themselves to send no team to say we send a team. They want to make sure when we send in serious people.
Ambassadors.
Yeah. Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. In whatever you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you.
Not about you.
Love each and every one of you. We'll be back tomorrow with more Hard Talk.
Peace out.
It was regarded by many as the best fest for Carnival 2018. This year, it's back, bigger and better. The second edition of the Waggy Tea Premium All-Inclusive Fete on Thursday, August 8th at 8 p.m. at the Mont Rouge Recreational Park. This is not just a fete. It's a total premium all-inclusive affair. From Trinidad, WeiVybz and the band Karma. From Barbados, Peter Ram. From St. Vincent, Skinny Fabulous.
'Cause when we roll, we don't roll alone.
And from Grenada, Jefferson Ramirez and Solid the Band, Inspector, Dash, Wasways, Shortpree, Vaughn, DJ Chemist, and Danny. Early bird tickets cost $350. Prepare to be amazed.
This Friday, 19 July, Club Fantasia takes center stage. Club Fantasia, together with Ram Dance Promotion, present AAA. Anything are anything. AAA Friday. With the hitman, Inspector. Michael Mahon and the Jab celebrity, Mandela Lynch. This is no ordinary Friday night experience. DJs Dashware and Team Soca lovers in the place. Ladies free before midnight. Men pay 15, then more after midnight. Tickets available online at gotofed.com. AAA Club Fantasia this Friday, 19 July.
Only the few will see when you set the bar, but everyone will know when you've raised it.
Welcome to party. We are the greatest.
We have done it again in this, the era of greatness, with the biggest white.
We bring the most light.
Watch greatness unfold with Mr. Killer, Wasways, and Lava Man, and more of Grenada's best, featuring headliner Marshall Montano and the Monk Band.
We great, absolutely.
Be at the National Cricket Stadium on Saturday, August 10th. Get your tickets now from gotofed.com and all Sunshine Promotions box offices. The biggest white. It's where greatness lives.
We are the greatest.
Grenada's economy is heading for its 7th year of consistent growth, averaging over 5%. Unemployment was reduced by 20%, while debt to GDP ratio was reduced from 108% to 63.5%. NNP committed to the economic and social development of our people. NNP delivering on the promise.
Government takes decisive action to address high cell phone usage. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, July 16th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The government of Grenada has taken decisive action to address unusually high cell phone usage and to eliminate the inclusion of persons who are no longer eligible for government's cell phone plan. Press Secretary Philomena Robertson revealed at Tuesday's post-cabinet press briefing that government has already taken action to remove persons who are no longer eligible for inclusion on government's cell phone plan. Government has also contacted persons who are no longer eligible to inform them that the costs incurred will need to be repaid and that government is willing to work with them on the details of that. Government is also continuing to engage Digicel, the service provider, with a view to examining the excessive costs in some instances and to determine possible reductions in charges based on the cap that exists with respect to all persons included on the plan. As part of the way forward, government is reviewing the draft cell phone policy to ensure that it adequately addresses cell phone usage and responsibilities. The Spice Mass Corporation is seeking to ensure transparency in the judging process for the various events for Spice Mass 2019. During the government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture and the Arts, Senator Nolan Cox, said a new process will be implemented for the selection of judges.
You would have to go through the training, and we had asked the consultant who did the training to do some scoring as well, to do some assessment based on person's performance throughout the training workshop. And so we took a decision to empanel a three-man panel that will be used to select the judges. So Spice Mass in itself, or no individual or the CEO, would not be the one selecting the judges. And we have asked 3 persons who will vet the judges and make recommendations to SMC who the judges should be for the various events.
The Minister for Culture and the Arts believes it's of critical importance to implement a process that is transparent to avoid any issues among the stakeholders of Carnival.
We have asked Mr. Hugh Grant to return again, so he's going to be supervising the whole judging process. He's going to oversee everything both at the semis and at the finals. So he'll be to ensure that everything goes as it's supposed to, no interference, high level of transparency. So he's be here to manage that process. Additionally, we are going to have auditors from a reputable auditing firm who will be present at the judging to deal with tabulation to ensure that the judging process is done in a fair and transparent manner.
Senator Cox says there will also be a higher caliber of judging for the various shows for Spice Mass 2019 using a different approach to the adjudication process. Some of the recommendations follow a recent training workshop.
We have decided to use 5 judges for each stage of the competition. So 5 judges for all tents, and next set of 5 judges for the semis, and a different set of judges for the finals. So we would not be using the same judge. The judge that has been used at the 10th level would not judge at the semifinals, and the judge who judged at the semifinals would not be judging at the finals. So that is one of the first things that we have agreed on.
Grenada has been awarded 11 bilateral and 200 multilateral short-term training courses for 2019. On Monday, officials from the Department of Public Administration and the Ministry of Education met with successful applicants for the upcoming Vocational Education Management and Reform Management and Strategic Planning seminars. Human Resource Manager at DPA, Alana Felix Roberts, says government has placed human resource development high on its agenda.
Human resource development is foremost on government's agenda as government recognizes that it is inextricably linked to sustainable socio-economic and national development. This year we have been offered 11 bilateral training courses and approximately 4 spots each in 60 multilateral courses by the People's Republic of China. Seminar on vocational education management and seminar on reform management and strategic planning, those that you are preparing to head off to, are actually the first 2 training programs for the 2019 cycle.
Chief Education Officer Mr. David Andrew encouraged the trainees to use the opportunity to enhance their individual lives and their workplaces.
It will expose you to differences in culture and differences that would enhance no doubt your level of operation. And so we challenge you to make the very best of it and let's see the fruits of its impact upon you, upon your return.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man.
Coming down to Grenada.
Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and the Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest Juve in the world, followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
25 groovy soca artists have secured a place in the semi-final round of the competition on July 25th, following a rain-interrupted weekend. They were selected from a cast of 105 who sang before the judges at Carnival City. The inclement weather on the first night of the groovy preliminaries forced a rescheduling of the competition to Saturday, where about 54 artists performed. On Sunday, inclement weather again forced a reschedule to Monday, July 15th, where 51 artists performed. The 25 groovy artists include newcomers Rashid Julian, a.k.a. Crave, David Andel and Michael Redhead, a.k.a. Red Alert, Altitude, Sparky B and Punchulus. The other artists qualifying for the semi-final round are Soca Banton, Tara the Governor, Otis, Snake Oil, Top Cat and Blazer, Sheldon Douglas, Scholar, Randy Isaac, Vaughn Baraka, Pappy Boy, Kennedy, Mandela Lynx, Killer B, Brother B, Valine, Double Standard, Looney Spark and Electrify, Alma Boy and Mr. Golden, the 2019 Carriacou Groovy Monarch.
We had a very good turnout for our groovy prelims. We had the artists giving a very good account of themselves. Despite we had a little challenge with the rain and we had to postpone a few times, God graced us with good weather tonight and we were able to complete the groovy prelims tonight, and we are very grateful that we have come to the end of the preliminary competitions of both soca and groovy, and we are now getting ready to move into the semi-final round of the competition. I've seen some newcomers and we have seen them taking front and center stage this year in the groovy prelims as well as the soca, and that speaks very well for the art form this year.
The attention will now be turned to the judging of Calypso Tents. Newcomer Chero's Calypso Tent will be the first to be judged.
We look forward to the Calypso judging commencing on Tuesday. That's tomorrow, with the Cheros Calypso tent coming out of St. Paul's. That's a new tent coming on this year. And we go right up until the 22nd. And we are really looking forward to some good Calypsos this year coming out of the tent, because we are really trying to build back the March Grand to have more people coming back into the March Grand this year. The feeling is buzzing. It's buzzing out there. You see the artists, they're creating the music. You're seeing the hype that they're creating on social media. And it's a really good feeling. I think people are really looking forward to what is going to be the buzz in Spice Mass this year. People are really looking forward to the music, to the costumes, to the parade of the bands on the street, etc. People are really looking forward, and we are hearing that we are going to be flooded with foreigners coming this year. We're really looking forward to be welcoming everyone for Spice Mass 2019.
That's Mr. Kelvin Jacobs, CEO of the Spice Mass Corporation. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
54 farmers are now part of the Silver Sands Grenrop Farmers Program, an initiative that began in March of 2017 with the objective of reducing the quantity of produce imported in the island for use at the resort. The Silver Sands Farmers Program, a joint venture between the Silver Sands Hotel and Grenrop, which began with 35 farmers in March of 2017, has now increased to 54 farmers. Culinary Director at the Silver Sands Hotel, John Louis Brocardi, is pleased with the progress of the program to date. During a recent visit to some of the farms with the Government Information Service, he reviewed Phase 1 that included farmers mainly from the St. Andrew Parish.
Well, we kept on pushing in St. Andrews and some of the parts of St. David, the higher parts in St. David's. St. Andrews has progressed quite a lot. We've been steadily purchasing from them now for the past month and a half to 2 months, actually, since about September. As of now, we're buying about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds of produce a week from those farmers, which is good. We still need to push because we had rain, strong rains a few weeks ago, so we lost some crops like zucchini, yellow squashes, tomatoes. So we're replanting that. I think it's part of the trial and error, see what we need to do and where we need to improve. Building greenhouses is the next step, maybe, or protect some kind of protection for the crops to survive those kind of bad weather.
The unpredictable weather pattern is proven to be a challenge. Despite that factor, however, since the commencement of the program, a variety of crops have been introduced to the farmers.
Some great purple pepper, green peppers. We're starting to have zucchinis that are looking good. They taste great. I've sampled them in the past. Very, very, very nice. The seedling farm that we have up in St. Patrick is doing great and is ready to put out for the next batch of crops now. And this is about where we stand, and we're happy. I mean, it's a learning process for all of us. We're trying to help the farmers through Teresa Marichaud to understand the process, what we expect. Again, it's there's the Grenadian ways and then what I expect. So we try to meet somewhere in the middle and make it happen. So
what are some of the other new seedlings that you've introduced? I know you had the tomatoes and so in St. Andrew. These peppers here, are they what you introduced as well?
Well, the peppers they were doing peppers in Grenada, doing green peppers. Obviously, for a restaurant, you have the presentation aspect. So we're looking at purple, yellow, red peppers. So we're pushing in that way as well. The melons and the watermelons, we're trying to do colored watermelon, like yellow watermelon, orange watermelons. Just again, variety and the visual aspect on breakfast buffets. We're trying to do and pushing a lot on seedless watermelons as well. Because again, customers, they come and they don't like seeds in their watermelons. It's, I guess I can't blame it because my kids, if I give them raisins or watermelon with seeds, they won't eat them either because they think that they come without seed. That's a natural thing, which is not. So we're trying to push in that. Tomatoes were doing good. Again, the rain affected it last time. And right now, we're actually, we are gearing back up. So we've done a lot of trials over the past 12 to 14 months. And we overproduced at one point where we didn't know what to do with it. And we had a lot of waste and we gave some away. And obviously, we stopped producing because it wasn't, have the farmers walking and trying to not sell. It's not fair to them. It's not.
Raul Phillip of Point Estate St. Patrick, who now farms with his father and brother at Lassages in St. David, welcomes the initiative of the Silver Sands. He believes this will provide a ready market for their produce after they have toiled tirelessly under the elements of the weather.
Well, what I go say, is a good enough for all the farmers in Grenada, even including me, understand? Because it come like a big help, you understand? Because enough times we just be planting enough things and all us be spoiling, you understand? So more hotels and more places, good for the farmers, so we could sell the produce, we don't have that big set of losses.
So exactly what will you be farming for them?
Well, I go be farming watermelon, I go be farming bell pepper, I go be farming tomatoes, sweet potato, and like pumpkin, even sorrel, tomatoes, whatever they want me to grow, I will grow it for them.
How many acres you working with now?
Well, I'm working with 5 acres and some.
Yeah. And now that you're into the Silver Sands Farmers Program, you mentioned the fact that it is your brother, I think your dad, and yourself. Yeah. Does that mean that you would need to have extra hands?
Well, yeah, it's not a problem, It's not a problem with the extra hands because like I see now, I won't try to play greedy and eat everything for myself, you understand? I would like for somebody to eat, you know what I mean? Because you have other people who want to do farming, you understand, and they don't get in the opportunity, you understand? So I'm glad for, I'm glad for people to come around and, see what I'm doing, and if they want to join, they could join, and spread the thing bigger, and I'm all around, you understand?
Lydia Bonaparte, who has been into farming from the age of 25, is also part of the Farmers Program. She spent much of her years working with farmers until she was encouraged to branch off on her own.
Well, when Miss Marisho came on the farm to visit Mr. Peters, and he spoke to her about me, that's how I get involved. And being good, feeling good to be a part of it.
This is your particular land, or is land that identified and given to you to do this?
No, it was government space lands for the farmers. So Mr. Peters, who had a say here, gave me, seeing as I used to work with him, he gave me the permission to do something on my own.
And tell me exactly what it is you're farming here for Silver Sands.
Corn, zucchini, and peppers. Corn, zucchini, squash, and peppers, sweet peppers.
Any challenges encountered in terms of planting?
No.
And this particular peppers, is it the first time you're planting that kind?
The first time I'm planting the purple, yeah.
At Chamfer in St. David, we met up with Brian Hazard, one of the youngest farmers in the program. He had a very interesting theory for getting into farming, a decision he took some 5 years ago.
I find all the old farmers dying out and nobody really taking up the footstep. So I decided, well, as a young man, I'll try and make a difference. Because plenty young people, they're looking to do farming on a whole. I don't know if because they find farming is a lot of hard work. But once you have a love and a passion for farming, it comes easy. Actually, it was a day, well, I think it was a Sunday. Miss Marisho and Raul, they were searching for people to do farming. So that time I just really start to clear down them trees and them. And they booking me on the project. They give me assistance with pump, irrigation, and stuff. That's how I really got involved in the project.
Hazard possesses about 3 acres of land to work with, but is currently utilizing 1.5 acres.
Occupy an acre and a half. I'm looking to cut down another half acre to do some bell peppers for the hotel. Bell peppers and Chinese cabbage.
The Silver Sands Farmers Project has received the attention of other resorts on the island, who John Louis says have expressed interest in participating.
I have several chefs from the island, from big entities on the island that have contacted me. One a couple of days ago that is interested in my farmers, in my crops. So I think, I don't want to give all my crops away. And that's why I do what I do, because I want to be exclusive in some produce. But at the same time, I think it's great for farmers that we're actually gaining their confidence again, and that they're confident enough to produce more. So if other chefs can beneficiate from that, the farmers and the economy will beneficiate as well in Grenada, because the more they produce, the better they do, and the more facilities we'll be able to provide them with. And I think one of the next steps, the crucial step, is distribution, which is a lacking factor right now in Grenada, where we need to find or get a truck and really have a way to distribute the produce rather than have one person going around the farm and collecting what we need.
John Louis Brocardi says the Silver Sands plans to further expand the program. I am Sharian Noel, and that's the state of affairs. Unemployment within the St. Andrew Parish stands to be reduced further when Renegade Rum Distillery becomes operational in the coming months. Work is progressing according to plan, and recently Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell was given a detailed tour of the plant in conference. Rikisha St. Louis was there and filed the special State of Affairs feature.
Nestled in the rural community of Conference St. Andrew, standing tall between the trees, is a development that has already begun to transform Grenada's economy, creating employment for young and old, boosting small business activities, and developing the road network within the community. Renegade Rum Distilleries not only promises to brew and bottle premium rum, but also to create a rum that will attract international markets and revenue to our shores. The sod was turned in August 2018 and construction commenced in a matter of weeks, 10 months later, and already there is evidence of how this big dream will benefit the small community.
This has enormous impact on the country, and it's a way of, to another part of it, the diversification of our economy. That's a major component of this. It's also an impact on rural development, because that project, if it was in St. George's, would not have had the impact that it is having on the country's face as having it here in St. Andrew. So there's so much win for this country.
We can see the progress and how it is going, and it's just an anticipation towards the end of what is happening. Moreover, what is good for us in the constituency is the level of development that is taking place, and it's bringing about the benefits for our people. We have direct benefits, we have the indirect benefits. If on your way here you would have seen the expansion of the road structure, the drain construction, and so you see the amount of businesses, the small businesses that were established as a result of this project, the number of persons who got employed in the construction phase, as well as who are employed now with Carriacou. I'm just happy for this level of investment in St. Andrew Northeast.
Prime Minister Mitchell, the parliamentary representative, and their team recently toured the facility to see firsthand its progress and the impact on the community. Unemployment has reduced significantly in the constituency and neighboring areas, as more than 100 individuals are employed in the construction phase, with hopes of more gaining employment on completion of the factory.
From our end, from Renegade end, we have a young team of staff already, permanent employers already. We employ people to be process operators. The process operators will be the person actually going through the plant, testing different parameters as they relate to wastewater treatment, the cleaning processes, the yeast treatment, the fermentation and so. We also have the boiler operators on staff already working with the company that we bought the boiler from and installing it. We have the mill operators here already also, and we have the maintenance team here already, and we have the distillers. I mean, one thing, the distillers will be working here basically to do distill the products and controlling the quality and efficiency of the product that we intend to produce. We could boast and say that we have an all-female distillation team. It's the first of its kind.
By the time the project complete, we have to do about 600 acres of cane. We're not even halfway there yet. We assume that we will have maybe 200-300 workers by the time and that's just field workers and stuff like that, by the time the project is completed.
The impact it's having on unemployment in the country, the number of people that are working already, an impressive amount of young Grenadians, skilled people, chemists, young people who probably will not, having gone to university and trained in a specific area, would not have had the opportunity to be able to use their skills. And you can see on their faces the happiness and the brightness of their faces. It's a very exciting thing for the country.
Renegade Rum has increased the production of sugarcane on island through its cultivation company Carriacou. Lands have been leased and cultivated in other rural parts of the country, namely Plains, River Entwine, Westerhall, Bacolet, Lacalome, Dunfermline and Hope.
Project like these normally start and fall apart, and people, have certain level of uncertainty when it comes to, putting the eggs in the basket. However, with the commencement of the factory and we ourselves doing large quantity of cane, a lot of people are now coming, forward and saying, hang on, we have some lands and we don't know if you would, like it or, if you'd want it to lease, and, in a lot of cases people are offering us lands to buy. We're not buying land, we're just leasing the lands. And people who have lands and want to, let us cultivate the lands for you, we pay $1,000 per acre. Per annum, and initially we want the land just for 5 years. After 5 years, we should recover the costs that we pay to cultivate those lands, and then you can have back your lands well cultivated.
The large-scale cultivation of sugarcane, according to Prime Minister Mitchell, is a boost to the agricultural sector and economic earnings. He reminisced on the historical structure of areas that were mainly agricultural lands. Dr. Mitchell is pleased that the distillery has found a way to combine agriculture and tourism.
This is a real formula that demonstrated marriage and the importance of it for the country's development, and of course the impact on our export earnings, impact on economic activity in the country as a whole, and of course all the things that are coming, the ancillary activities with this Pearls area, this section of the country, historically used to be agriculture estate. The estate is gone, and the estate gone, many of it have been cut up into small pieces. A lot of opportunity for job potential were lost, and with that, the poverty increases in that in the area. I know the parliamentary representative must be extremely happy. The pressure on her would be lifted considerably so, because a lot of people will be doing different things.
Although the factory is not complete, work has already started on installing the equipment so that capacity building training can start before the actual production begins.
We walked through the 4 buildings. The utility building, let's say 40-50% complete. But the still house, another 40-50% complete. The brew house, which is to the extreme right, let's say 20%, but this is about 80-90% complete. But however, what I must say is that what is left to be done will be much faster than, okay, just to put up the cladding, put up the roofs, and so on. So you will see that that second phase, one has to be completed, will be much faster and shorter and much faster than actually what was done already.
As the distillery continues to expand in structure, so too is the target of obtaining over 600 acres of land for cultivation. Harvesting has already begun, but not for production, since the factory is not yet in operation. However, hopes are high that within the next 3 months, another batch of cane will be harvested, this time for brewing. For State of Affairs, I am Rakisha St. Louis.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNB. Get updated.
It was regarded by many as the best fete for Carnival 2018. This year, it's back, bigger and better. The second edition of the Waggy Tea Premium All-Inclusive Fete on Thursday, August 8th at 8 p.m. at the Montrouge Recreational Park. This is not just a fete, it's a total premium all-inclusive affair. From Trinidad, Ravi B and the band Karma. From Barbados, Peter Ram. From St. Vincent, Skinny Fabulous.
'Cause when we roll, we don't roll alone.
And from Grenada, Jefferson Ramirez and Solid the Band, Inspector, Dash, What's-Ways, Shortpree, Vaughn, DJ Chemist, and Danny. Early bird tickets cost $350. Prepare to be amazed.
Hello, my name is Michaela Williams, winner of the Festival of the Arts Secondary School Solo Pan Competition. And these are my colleagues.
We are members of the Full Comancheros Field Orchestra, your current panorama champions.
Having won 3 of the last 4 panorama competitions in Spice Mass.
We are inviting you to Spice Mass 2019, especially junior and senior panorama, at the National Stadium on Saturday, 10th August 2019.
Come and enjoy the experience, the excitement, and the skills of the players of the various steel orchestra. Suzuki Pan Wizards,
Republic Bank Angel Apps,
New Dimension,
Panacea,
Melody Warriors,
Rainbow City All-Stars, Ranroy Pan Angels, Digital Florida All-Stars,
And of course, Flow Comancheros.
After Panorama, you can join us on the road for Juve and Parade of the Bands on Monday the 12th and Tuesday the 13th of August.
Spice Mass 2019. Don't miss it.
I really love it. 2018 was great. 2019, this will be epic. This is me, Scholar, 2018 Calypso Monarch of Grenada, and I'm inviting one and all to come down to Grenada for Spice Mass, the greatest, biggest festival in all of the world. I'm inviting you to the Mardi Gras, where I will be chasing after history. This year, the Mardi Gras, this will be the greatest Mardi Gras of all the Mardi Gras. All the bards will be coming.
I want to tell Mr. Killer, come over, the message to lava, come over.
Man, if you want to win the monarchy, do head reduction surgery. They talk going around the tongue. Your head too big for the crown.
So listen to what I say.
Forget about the CCJ.
So what are you waiting for? Just book your ticket and come down. Last carnival was real bacchanal, and this year going to be the mother of all. The boom boom going to ring, heart is going to sing. Pam pam, big up for Simon.
Another explosive celebration of cultural ecstasy has dawned upon us. One that every citizen, every visitor, and every nation has come to relish because of our unique carnival with its multiple diversity. I am Kemik DeGale, your 2018 reigning carnival queen. It has been a pleasure to share and embrace the warmth of your hearts. As we forge ahead to yet another immaculate experience, I invite you all to participate in the pinnacle of celebration on August 12th and 13th. Be amused by the traditional mass and kiddies carnival frolic. Come share in the harmonious sound of the steel pan, the sweet rhythms of the groovy, the frenzy of Soca Monarch, and the hard-biting lyrics of Calypso. Majestic Thursday on August 8th will be a night that celebrates beauty and encapsulates women power. Oh yes, our famous World Juve noted for our jab jab, our electrifying display of light and mass on Monday night, and the showcase of picturesque fancy mass. Let's dig deep within our roots and cultural awareness and run with building another spectacular carnival.